Jealousy is one of those emotions people like to pretend they don't have until it shows up uninvited and starts running the room. It doesn't ask permission. It doesn't knock politely. It just arrives, often dressed up as concern, humor, or even silence. But underneath it carries a heavy energy that can shift the tone of any relationship. We all feel jealousy at some point in life. That part is normal. It can be a signal that we care about something or someone. But what most people don't realize is how quickly jealousy can turn from a passing feeling into a personality pattern that shapes how someone treats others, especially when insecurity is running the show. When jealousy is rooted in insecurity, it stops being harmless. It becomes comparison, criticism, competition, resentment. It becomes the energy that can't celebrate anyone else's win without feeling personally attacked by it. And this is where things get uncomfortable, because in some people, jealousy is not occasional, it's constant. It becomes a lens through which they view the world. Every success someone else has becomes a reminder of what they feel they lack. The real danger is not jealousy itself. The danger is when jealousy goes unchecked, unexamined, and becomes the foundation of how someone relates to others, especially in love, family, and work. Jealousy is not rare, it is human. It shows up in friendships, relationships, and even within families. You see someone doing well, and part of you either feels inspired or slightly uneasy. That is the spectrum of human emotion. In its healthiest form, jealousy can pass quickly. You notice it, you reflect on it, and you move forward. Sometimes it even reveals what you value in your own life. It can be a mirror, not a weapon. But when a person lacks emotional grounding or carries deep insecurity, jealousy doesn't pass. It lingers. It grows roots. It starts interpreting everything through comparison instead of appreciation. At that point, life stops being experienced directly. It becomes measured against everyone else's highlight reel, and that creates emotional tension that never really resolves. Jealousy becomes dangerous when it stops being internal and starts becoming externalized. Instead of someone saying, "I feel insecure," they begin projecting that feeling onto others. Suddenly, your success is not just your success. It becomes suspicious. Your joy becomes irritating. Your progress becomes threatening. Your happiness becomes something they feel they must reduce. This is where relationships start to feel heavy. Compliments become rare. Support becomes conditional. And instead of celebration, you get silence, sarcasm, or subtle undermining. The dark form of jealousy doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. It shows up as small comments, delayed encouragement, or shifting the focus away from your achievements. Over time, those small moments add up, and you begin to feel like your growth is causing tension instead of connection. In deeply insecure personalities, jealousy can become a dominant emotional driver. Instead of inspiration, they feel threat. Instead of pride for others, they feel competition. When someone close to them succeeds, it doesn't register as shared joy. It registers as loss of control. as if another person's growth somehow shrinks their own identity. This is why success in relationships like this often creates friction instead of celebration. The more you grow, the more unstable the dynamic can feel for them. They may not say it directly, but their behavior speaks loudly. They may minimize your achievements, question your timing, or suddenly shift attention to their own struggles right when you need support. And the confusing part is, they may still want to be close to successful people, but only if that success does not outshine them. The contradiction creates emotional instability in the relationship because love is supposed to expand with success, not shrink under it. One of the clearest signs of unhealthy jealousy is consistency. Everyone can have a moment of insecurity, but not everyone turns that into a pattern. If every time you win, the energy shifts, that's not coincidence. If your good news is followed by discomfort, sarcasm, or emotional withdrawal, that is a pattern worth paying attention to. Another red flag is comparison disguised as conversation. Instead of celebrating you, the focus quickly shifts to how your success is not that special or how others had it easier. There's also the subtle punishment of success. You share something positive, and suddenly the mood changes. The joy gets drained out of the moment. These patterns create emotional confusion. You start questioning whether you should even share your wins at all. And that is where emotional suppression begins. Jealousy is not limited to romantic relationships. It shows up strongly in families and workplaces as well. In families, it can appear where one person rises beyond the expectations of the group. Instead of celebration, there may be distance, criticism, or comparison to how things used to be. In workplaces, it can show up as exclusion, withheld information, or quiet sabotage. Someone may smile in your face, but resist your progress behind the scenes. In both environments, envy often hides behind professionalism or family concern, but the emotional undercurrent remains the same: discomfort with someone else's growth. And when that energy goes unaddressed, it creates environments where people feel they must shrink themselves to stay accepted. Success has a way of revealing who is truly aligned with your growth and who is only comfortable when you're staying the same. When you start moving forward, the reaction of others becomes a mirror. Some will celebrate you loudly. Others will go quiet. Some will distance themselves completely. That reaction is information. It tells you where emotional safety exists and where it does not. In healthy dynamics, your success expands the connection. In unhealthy ones, it strains it. And once you see that clearly, you can no longer unsee it. Protecting your peace does not mean hiding your success. It means being intentional about who you share it with and when. Not everyone deserves front row access to your growth. Some people can only handle your progress after they've processed their own emotions. It's also important to ground yourself in internal validation. If your entire emotional state depends on external approval, you will always be vulnerable to jealousy dynamics. The goal is not to stop others from feeling what they feel. The goal is to stop letting their feelings dictate your expression. The deeper work is understanding that jealousy often reflects unhealed insecurity. When people don't feel secure within themselves, they struggle to celebrate others without comparison. Breaking that cycle requires honesty. It requires looking at your own emotional reactions without excuses. It requires choosing growth over ego. And if those who have been on the receiving end of chronic jealousy, healing means learning not to internalize someone else's inability to celebrate you. Your success is not the problem. Your growth is not the threat. Your expansion is not the issue. The issue is always how someone chooses to interpret what they see in you. Jealousy will always exist in human relationships. That's reality. But not all jealousy is equal, and not all of it deserves access to your life. Some people will see your growth and feel inspired. Others will see it and feel diminished. That difference matters more than most people realize. You cannot force someone to celebrate you, but you can choose not to shrink for them. You can choose not to apologize for growing. You can choose not to dim your light just to make someone else comfortable in their insecurity. And most importantly, you can choose to surround yourself with people who don't compete with your joy, but contribute to it. Because at the end of the day, real connection does not fear your success. It grows with it. Many of you will understand that you need to do some house cleaning after hearing these words. I'm in a constant state of house cleaning. It may not mean that you banish someone completely out of your life, but you put them where they need to be so you don't feel the heat of their jealousy. Hopefully, they can grow, but it's not for you to shrink yourself so they feel comfortable. Learn to do that, and you'll be fine. Self-validate, and you'll be fine. Become independent on all levels, especially spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, and you won't have anything to worry about when it comes to external jealousy. Just keep your eyes open and keep your head on a swivel. Thanks for listening. I hope these words have helped you. Lance Scurv out. On to the next one. Thank you so much. Peace.